Hi, welcome to Diamond Custom Paint Shop. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to do silver leafing on this mailbox. The leafing supplies we're going to be using are made by LimeLine, and the sizing glue that we use is a unique to LimeLine's products. It's a water-based product that you spray on with an airbrush, so it's really cool, really easy to use. There's no wait times. You spray it on, wait for it to tack up, and then you can apply your leafing. So we'll kind of get into it here. I'm just beginning to tape off the area that I'm going to be doing the leafing to. We'll tape everything off where we don't want the glue, obviously to get on. So we're just going to tape out this area and then get ready to spray on the glue. Now the glue, you just mix it. When you get it, you just mix it with tap water, 50-50, and you're ready to go. Okay, we're just going to speed this portion up because I'm just going to just mask off this area here real quick. Okay, we got the glue mixed up 50-50 with just tap water and load it in our airbrush, and we're going to start to apply the glue to our area here. If you note the technique I use here, typically yields the best results. I kind of move fast and I stay about 10 inches away from the surface, and I just do light coats until the proper tack builds up. Here you see I'm just testing the tack with my thumb. You want, if it's wet or stringy, then you want to wait a little longer. And then when you start feeling it to be tacky, you're ready for your next layer of glue. Things you don't want to happen is you don't want to spray too much on and get a buildup of texture. So that's why you want to do just light coats. You can always just keep applying until it gets the right tack. The tackness you want, I always like to describe it as like the back side of the masking tape, kind of that tack, and you want that tack pretty much in a bunch of spots. There you see I'm checking to see the tack in a bunch of spots, so you don't miss any areas. And then also one thing, once we get in, not the first coat, but usually after the first coat, you want to start kind of aiming towards your edges to make sure you get those edges good as you're going. I'm just going to let this play in real time for a little bit, just so you can see the time frames in between my coats of glue. And here I'm pointing out, I'm just using a Harbor Freight airbrush, a $20 Harbor Freight airbrush. You don't need anything fancy to spray this glue on. Okay, it's reached a good tackiness, and now I'm going to start applying the Silverleaf. Now here's one critical part. As you'll notice, I'll take my brush and I'll pounce straight down, kind of get everything laid down, especially those where you crossed over your pieces. You want to pounce straight down up, not brush it, left and right on there. Otherwise you can risk kind of smearing your glue from those seams onto your leaf. So I always like, the first thing I do is pounce straight down over the entire area I just laid down. But like I said, especially the seams. Okay, now you'll see I'll start working the edges, get those edges laid down, kind of using the bristle to kind of jam it down on the tape edge. And you'll know when you do it, you'll kind of see there'll be a bridge there, and you just want to tuck that down onto the glue so you get a nice crisp edge when you pull your tape. Later in the video I do a up close with the camera so you can see what I'm talking about along the edges with the bridging and getting the leaf tucked into the edges.
Once I get all my edges tucked in and everything down how I like it, I'll start burnishing it. You'll see I'll just kind of be wiping it left and right, up and down on the piece, especially on the seams there. Kind of, burnish it until those all the little pieces come off, those stragglers on the seams, and just work your way all the way around until everything looks nice and flat. Okay, here I'm just taking air and I'm blowing off all the loose leaf that's not stuck down, because I'm going to do another layer of leaf on here. That's the beauty of this type of leafing system with the glue, is you can do as many layers on top of each other as you want until you get it perfect. The reason I'm doing a second layer is you'll notice typically when you do your first layer, along some of the edges, it won't get completely on the edges, and there'll be little tiny gaps here and there. And to get a really crisp, nice edge, flawless edge, you'll usually do two layers of the leaf, and you can do more if you want. Like if it still do the second layer and you still got some spots missing, you can just keep adding. You just do the same process over. So yeah, here I'm just making sure so when I do spray the glue, none of this leaf comes off and flies onto the leafing area, because then you'll have a texture there and you'll be able to see it. Okay, here I'm just seeing how my leaf is going to line up, how I want to lay down my first sheet, because I don't want the seams to match up like I did before. I want the next layer to cover over those seams.
Okay, here I'm starting to lay down the second layer of glue. And we'll just follow the same process as we did before. I'm going to speed this section of the video up. The last section I just wanted to show, in real time, so you can see how long it takes, and how long to wait. Typically in between, your coats of glue, for the tackiness, just as a rough guide. Every time you do it, it'll be a little bit different, but you can get kind of the idea. Because it depends on, the temperature in your booth and humidity and all that jazz. So here we go. Always use a roller after I untape it all and mask it. I'll kind of go over it with the roller one more time, because then you won't have the tape seams there, and you can really get a good flat surface to roll it on. The roller just ensures all your glue is all your leaf, I should say, is pressed down onto your glue on the bottom. Want to have overspray glue get on your there's little tiny spots there that don't quite get the leaf on it. And so when you do the second layer, when you're spraying the glue, you'll aim for these edges again, and that'll all clear right up. And you can see on the seam there also had a spot. That's why I don't like to line up my seams again, so it fixes all these problems. I just want to show these lines you get here. It's just from wrinkles in the, leafing when you put it down. You want to try to put it down as flat as you can, but you're going to always get these. They just end up like tags, and you can burnish them out. Here I'm going to show you how I'm going to burnish these couple out here on the top, which you just take your brush and kind of aggressively kind of work it back and forth like you're trying to work the metal off and break it. You flex it back and forth so many times it's going to come off. Kind of the same process here. And here you can see those ones are gone. I'll just then work my way down and get all of these out. Okay, well, there we go. There's the mailbox finished. I just got done clear coating it. We'll just kind of spin it around and take a look at it. Now here we added, that's an image transfer of my logo I added on the back. And then we clear coated over top of that. We did our, Harley emblem here. Did some silver leafing and spun it. Come around the front, did a sun ray on the front. Looks pretty good. I probably will cut and buff this, just this, the sides and top, this area here. I probably won't do the front because you have a lot of texture on these on the front and you'll most likely kind of burn through. Plus it doesn't really need it. And then on the back, kind of the same thing. You can't see it, but there is, kind of see it here. There is some textured writing that they stamp into these. So I won't be cutting and buffing the back. But I will, like I said, cut and buff the top and the sides here. Just to get it, really shiny. This is going to be in the motorcycle show in a couple of weeks. So I really want it to pop out. So, all right, let's kind of review what we did here. Let me readjust this camera here a little bit. Okay, let me we'll review some products that we used on this. There's a couple of different ways, products that you can use by LimeLine. By the way, I used all LimeLine products on this. So go ahead, if you want to do a project like this, similar, go ahead to LimelinePaintSupply.com. Use the link down in my description. You'll get 10% off. That kind of helps me. I get a small commission off of if you use that link. Kind of helps me keep going with these videos. And then also subscribe to my channel. That'll help me out a lot too. I'm heading for that 1,000 subscriber mark. So yeah, let's go ahead and I got stuff inside. Let's see what came in the mail. All right, so first let me go over, we use a lot of tapes on this, taping out all these lines, anything from the, fine line vinyl tape, the 1/8 inch. We use this 1/8 and 16 inch side by side here. And then a lot of the different size maskings, masking tape, to tape everything off. So we have those. I'll just put those to the side as we pull stuff out. Like I was saying, I used the old metal flake in the bag when I did the metal flake on this. And then the candies I used, I have my big cans of candy concentrate that I, have around, keep on hand all the time. But there's LimeLine's coming out with this new rattle can system now, which is all the same quality of stuff that you get, using their other line of stuff, in the cans. But this is all in rattle can. So you could really, on this job, you could almost got away with the whole project with rattle cans. So that way everybody can do this at home. The only thing, and you could even still do, all this shading stuff. What you would do is you just get the rattle can, but then you would just get have an airbrush, spray that paint into a cup, and then, pour that cup into your airbrush, that paint that's in the cup in your airbrush, and use it that way. So you don't really need a big compressor and a spray gun setup. You can do all this with a rattle can now if you wanted to. It's designed like this. Like this here, we could have sprayed this with the double shot. I have done projects with this. This stuff is really awesome. It sprays out awesome, has a good fan pattern. I was amazed at this stuff. And so this is a part A and part B. So it's basically pretty much like the same, clear coat, high grade automotive clear coats that everybody uses in a rattle can. As you can see, it has a little ring down there. You pop this off, has a ring, you pull it out and spin it, and that releases the two components together. And then you have, about 24 hours or so, a little longer, I found, to, use the whole can. But if you get a whole can like this, Just an example, one of my videos I did a helmet, and I was able to do 2 sessions of 4 coats each with 1 can on a helmet. So just to kind of give you an idea of how much you can get. Depends on how you spray it too. I usually spray light coat first coat and then medium coats my next 3, 2 or 3, just depending how many I'm going to do. So, but just to give you an idea, how far it does reach. I was pretty amazed by that too. I didn't expect it to do 2 sessions. I thought maybe 1, but I got away with 2 sessions. Came out awesome. Check out that video if you want to see that. It's one of my helmets that I did. So, and also he's got everything pretty much now that in these rattle cans. This, for instance, is a gold metal flake, but you could use the regular silver metal flake that he carries to do the base coat that we did on this. First, we laid down a black base coat, then we did the silver metal flake. But he has black. He's all the colors in the rattle cans, and then obviously the metal flake in a can now, which is awesome. And then also has candies in the rattle can too. So you could really, when we taped all this stuff off, I could have just grabbed the rattle can. I wanted to do it, but I didn't do it because I didn't have the colors on hand that I want. I didn't have the yellow or gold, and I had this tangerine orange I probably could have used, but I kind of wanted this color orange on there. Wasn't sure what color this was going to look like. So, but anyways, what I'm getting at is you could have, when we taped all this stuff off, you could have, used get yourself an orange, or use this tangerine orange and spray that. You can get the blues. He's got a couple of different color blues in the candy, I believe. Same with the reds, So get your blue and a red candy in the rattle can. You could have taped all this off and shot it with the rattle can and been just fine. One thing on here we did use that LimeLine's carrying now is the vinyl for your Cricut maker. And that's what I use to do like these stars with. So check that out. That's really awesome because it fits right in your Cricut maker without needing the mat. So, and then we used, the silver leafing, with the brushes and rollers. And most importantly, this amazing system, this sizing glue. I've never found it anywhere else, but this is water-based sizing glue that you spray on with the airbrush. If you watch my other videos where I do it, you can see just how easy this is to do. So, check that out. Go ahead and grab you some. If you ever wanted to try, leafing and you're kind of nervous about it and afraid, I'm telling you, this stuff, you can't go wrong. You almost can't mess it up. I mean, you won't get it perfect the first time, but you will, most likely the second or third time. I'll guarantee you that. It's really easy to use. Just takes a couple little things to get used to, and you'll be on your way to being a professional leafer. So go ahead, get you some of that. And then, like I was saying, you can just go, for an airbrush, you don't need to spend a bunch of money on an airbrush, especially for doing, stuff like this, where you're just doing these basic shadings. Just go ahead, go to Harbor Freight and get you this airbrush. And then you can also pick up one of their I think they're like $80 or something like that for the little airbrush compressor. Sometimes those come with an airbrush with them. Don't use that airbrush. That airbrush is kind of crappy. But this airbrush here, this thing is, for the price, it's awesome. This thing's only $30. And you'll spray all day long. And another thing I recommend, I think for like $6 or $7, you can get a 2-year warranty on it. Go ahead and grab that. So if you accidentally ever, because a lot of times we'll take this cap off and the needle's exposed. So if you ever, drop it, bang the needle or something, take it right back, get a brand new one, and keep on going. So really awesome deal. Really awesome airbrushes for just the basic stuff that you need to do any of this custom painting that you see. So the only reason I really break out my expensive airbrushes is, one, I like to use them, and
too, if I'm doing like some detailed, soft fades and stuff like that, I'll break that out just because it's a little easier to do. You'll probably do it with this. I've seen people do it with this. I've seen Adam Paul do, portraits with this, so it can be done. But yeah, there you go. That's all that's in the mail. But that'll wrap this video up here. Painting this custom mailbox. Let's just do one more spin around. The Silverleaf was spun, turned out really good. Really happy with the project. Really simple project to do. Really fast to do too. Doesn't take long to whip out a project like this. So yeah. So there you go. On the top, let me show the top. We did that. Pull my pole out of here. We did like the checkered flag on top, a couple of red lines. Like I said, all really easy techniques to use that turned out looking pretty cool. So, all right, well, that'll wrap this up, and we'll see you on the next one.